Hi everybody, welcome back to Spruverse, my scale model universe. People of Earth, welcome to part 1 of Build the 1350 Refit from our dear friends over at Polar Lights. Oh yes, this is the mother of all kits. And I don't mind telling you, it has scared the bejesus out of me for years and years and years, which is why I've put off building one. And certainly building one on the channel, because there is, about, 15 years of builds and incredible models out there that look amazing. So this is not a how-to video. If you're here for a how-to, you might be in the wrong place. But if you're here to sort of follow my build and my sort of ups and downs and my struggles, welcome. If you like the content on my channel, please like and subscribe. It means an awful lot to me. Follow me on Instagram, where I'll post in the weeds pictures of this build as often as I possibly can. And if you want to drop me a line at spruverse@gmail.com, always happy to hear from everybody, or just in the comments below. My subscribers are awesome, and I can't thank all of you enough. Why now? Why am I doing this now? Well, first of all, I'm desperate to have this kit built and in my collection. And I know a lot of you out there have this in your stash and you're desperate to do it, but you haven't done it. And I wonder if a lot of that has to do with the same reasons why I haven't done it. Because you look at what is involved and you go, oh, maybe later, maybe not today. And you put it off and you put it off. And you know, it's staring at me. This kit has been staring at me for way too long. And I've got to get my mojo up here, and I've got to get going on this kit. So that's what we're doing. We're going to build it through Christmas and into the new year. That's the build. And I do have a little bit of traveling, so I will try to post every week my progress, but we'll see how we go. Now, no unboxing, because there's 50 million unboxings. I want to tell you just a little bit about the basic ingredients here that I'll be using. I'm definitely using photo etch, and I'm using Paul's photo etch from Paragraphics, and perhaps a little bit of green strawberry, because I understand that there are some detail parts in the green strawberry kit that are not available in Paul's kit over at Paragraphics. Don't know. A lot of what I am espousing here is just knowledge I've picked up over time. Nothing here is that you're going to hear is from the mouth of a professional. I promise you. We are proud members of the Mediocre Modelers Club, but we are trying on a daily basis to improve the skill. And that's why I'm finally broken down and said enough is enough. I'm going to build this model. Lots to think about, as you all know. We're going to be doing an Aztek pattern on this kit. We're going to be using some pearlescent paints. I've gotten a bunch from various different taxidermy sources, and we'll be putting those on this model. We have a lighting kit from Trek Modeler, which is a plug-and-play kit. I decided to go with the Trek Modeler plug-and-play kit because after full disclosure, I bought the Tenor Controls kit. It is a fantastic kit. But just because I am stressed enough, I liked the notion of going with plug and play. Now, this won't be the last time I build this model, and so I have a sneaking suspicion that after I get this one off my chest, I'll feel a lot more confident to go with trying another route. I'm not using the display stand that comes with the kit. I'm using a display stand from Nebula Shipyards. And if you go back on my videos, you'll see a show about bases. And I do a complete unboxing of the Nebula Shipyards build, a box, I should say, which is it's just stunning. You'll see it as we introduce it into the model, because the model will need to at some point go on its stand. So you'll be seeing that. And I have got a boatload of stuff that I've been collecting, 3D printed aftermarket parts. Now, there's a couple of things that you have to deal with coming right out of the gate. One of them is you got to make a choice about which bottom you're using. Are you using one that is smooth here, as this one is, or are you using the one that has the grid lines in it? Now, I am going to be using the one that is smooth. I don't know why. I just like the aesthetic of that. Now, I'm going to try and do my best to make it look awesome, and I am going for the refit, not for A. So I'm sure there'll be a lot of mistakes, a lot of goof ups. But I'm going to try my hardest to make a really fine model that I can be proud of and finally have in my collection. And I'm hoping that I am the motivator for all of you out there who are thinking and feeling the same thing. Get that box down and get that model out and start building. I don't care if you light it, don't light it, but get it out and build it. Come on. It doesn't belong in a box. It belongs on a shelf where you can admire it. Anyway, so that's the first choice. Lots of things to consider here. Lots of things that I'm aware of. Now, as you sort of introduce these parts, I understand that there are some serious fit issues, and so I'm going to be sort of interested to see what we have to deal with. But I understand that we've got fit issues coming out of the gate, so we'll be tackling that, and I'm aware of them, so that we'll do our darndest to sort of handle that. We're also putting in the famous Arboretum, which, as we know, is going to need. We're going to put in some paragraphics windows. But I've also got an interesting window, acrylic window that I found, and I'll be sharing that with you when we do that, to see if that pops for us. So I'm going to be dealing with that. I know I've got fit issues. I've got to get this thing wired. With respect to the lighting, I've got to get this thing lit and primed. That's what I've got to do. And I've got to get this done by April the 2nd. Put that date on your calendars. April the 2nd. It's a very important date, because I have a massive surprise. I'm excited just talking about it. So we're hoping it all comes together. But we're going to have a special guest here at Sprueverse who's going to give us a master class on how to paint this model. I kid you not. So we'll talk more about that as we get closer to the time. But right now I want to focus on starting to get going and talking about, just some of the basics. Although there's a lot to do. So I know that, for instance, out of the gate, and we're out of the gate here, is we've got to, that's not helpful, is it? Hold on. We've got to deal with the saucer, right? So I know we've got to deal with this saucer. And so that is what we're going to be tackling as well. And I'm aware of a bunch of things. For instance, this very shiny surface we're going to take down with some, I think, 800 or 1000 grit. We're going to take that down so that our primer coat bites to this a little better. We do have a few blemishes here that I'm looking at going out of the gate, and we'll have to tackle those. Or we might just use another saucer, because I don't just have one of these, I have 3 of these. And so I might check out another saucer and see if I've got a better saucer. But we'll do that off camera. I'm not going to do that right now. We know that we've got to get this ground down. These little bars, or these little stanchions here. We've got to get those ground down so that we can move our AB deck forward, so that we can light the front of our ship. That's you know, a big part of what we're doing, because we want to create that Raytheon effect. Now, curiously, there is another way to do this, which is you light block everything except the area where you want light to come through, and you get this punch from underneath, and it creates that Raytheon effect. Not sure if I want to do that. I haven't. I don't know. I just feel like I want to light block the thing, put the floodlights on, and let them hit this thing. So we're going to be doing that. I've got rec deck and officer's deck 3D printed parts. I'll show you those very quickly. And so anyway, we've got to deal with that. Now, curiously, there's something else I want to show you here. Oh, hang on. I'm not very well prepared here. I apologize, but we're going to be in just a second. There we go. I want to get you a little closer to the model, because as you can see, these pieces here on this model are raised. Now, in the film, they're not raised. They're flat. They're flat to the surface of the ship. So I know that you can actually grind those down, sand those down, flush, and we're going to be lighting those anyway, I think. So we're going to look at that. That's another. That's another part of this build that everybody talks about. It's kind of cool, you know, all the things that you learn over the years. And then, of course, the other thing is more details on the sensor array, more details just overall on the build itself. So, lots to do. Let me show you real quickly some of the aftermarket parts that I have in my goodie box here. So I've got, and I'll make sure that sources are in the description when I put the video out. But I've got this kit from a guy called Matt at a laser effects company. He's amazing. And he offers this disc for diffusing your deflector. So that's going to be interesting to see how we install that. He also gives us windows. All the windows we will ever need. And including windows for the rec deck, and windows for the, where are they? I know they're here somewhere. Hold on. For our Arboretum. I know they're here because I have seen them. Hang on. Okay, that's not them. That's not them. And that's not them. I'm going to have to find them. VIP Lounge. Rec deck, but I don't see B and C. I don't see Arboretum. I'm going to have to. Oh, here it is. Panic. Don't panic. Don't panic. Here are these beautiful, just incredible. And they've got these offsets right here to glue. So you don't have to worry about getting glue on your crystal. That should be amazing. I'm pretty excited about those. I've got a 3D printed AB deck. I've got two versions of it. This one is a lot crisper than this one. And I've got one more on the way from Jerry over at HD Model Works. And his is printed in gray, I believe. But what I like about this one is it is already the correct size for you with the offsets and that angle, that all-important angle that you see there, which gives you that lovely, graceful line down to the saucer itself. So this is definitely the way to go, with some beautiful detailing in the back, and just because I think it's oh, this is interesting too. Look at the difference here between this one, which already has a hole punched out for a 3mm bulb, and this one, which I think is a little more graceful. And this is a lot thinner and more delicate in the back, whereas this one is a lot thicker. So I'm definitely thinking that's the way to go. But you'll laugh because in classic Phil Siegel fashion, when I was looking on Shapeways for my AB deck, I ordered what I thought was my AB deck, and this is what came. I kid you not, this is what came. So, you know, don't let anybody ever tell you that size does not matter, because it does. Anyway, I got a kick out of that. Look at my Arboretum. I'm just in love with this Arboretum. It has, if you look at it this way, it's in the Japanese garden motif, which I just love. The waterfall is already here. A little pagoda in the water. You've got your ponds already spelled out here. You've got an incredible little sort of light or pilot or bird's nest or whatever, a little statue here. All your benches are in, and the pathways are already in, and you've got detail on the sides here. So we can definitely put some photo etch in here and have some fun with this, but I'm just absolutely in love with this Arboretum. And then I've got Officers Lounge and Rec Deck. Look at the detail on these. Beautiful, right? So I'm just super happy with these. And curiously, I know this is very different than the actual piece from the model. But you're all going to be mad at me when I say I don't care. Don't be mad at me. I just like this piece better. I just think it's a lot more visual. Now, it may have been from a later version of the ship. I don't know. I'm embarrassed to say I don't know. I should check, but I'm going with this one. It's such a minute thing, guys. Come on, you'll barely see any of it. So give me a break. But I like this one, and so I'm going with that one. I've got some engine parts here in the back. This one you may remember from the classic Don's Light and Magic. Do you remember Don's Light and Magic? This was from him, and sadly he passed away, and you can't get his stuff anymore. But I thought he did some really nice work. That was from him. There are some later pieces here. Here's a piece that has the grids. Look at this. This one has already the grids cut into it. Isn't that beautiful? So you could put photo etch over this just to sort of enhance it. But the idea with this one is that you don't have to. Now you will need to diffuse your lights that go behind it, but that's the idea. And of course, putting this up against the actual part that comes with the kit, you can see it's just a world of difference. So I'm pretty excited with that. Here is your sensor array at the bottom of the saucer. This is really beautifully done, and the detail here is exceptional. So we can get some photo etch on this and really go to town with it. It's just beautifully done, and the detail on this is extraordinary. So I'm really happy with this. I also found a couple of these airlock doors, super detailed. But the thing about these that's very different from the photo etch part is, and I don't know how well you can see this, if you can see it at all, but there is a lip here. Right where my blade is, there's a lip, and it gives you that wonderful three-dimensional kind of look to it. So I've got 6 of those just to play with, and we'll see if we don't play with those. And then, of course, my final part here, which is your crystal from the rear of the saucer. And the beautiful thing about this is you don't have to mask off those pieces. You paint this, and then you drop the glass in underneath. And this already has a diffusion piece that comes with it. Isn't that wonderful? So I'm pretty excited about that because I'm rushing to get the check this out. This is going to sit. I'm going to have to open this hole up just a little bit, but it's going to sit in there like that. And that is going to be super, super crisp. So I'm really, 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 really excited about that. I think that's a winner. I do. And of course, these are all little details, right? They're all details, but I just wanted to sort of show you some preliminary stuff here. Stuff that I'm thinking about, playing with, working with. Trying to keep it all as manageable as possible, because when I say I'm petrified, I am genuinely petrified, and you know, I don't now just have to do a decent job. I'm committing it to film, so people will see it, and I could be the laughing stock of the community. I hope not. I hope everybody just says, hey, kudos for trying. And that's the idea here. But there is so much talent that have built these kits, and there's so much great aftermarket stuff and knowledge that I just feel now that I've got the confidence to do it. And frankly, if I don't go now, I'll never do it. I'll make excuse after excuse after excuse. And I don't want to do that. Now we're going to do it in sub-assemblies, because that's the way it should be done, right? So we've got the saucer itself, we've got the nacelles, and we've got the secondary hull with the pylons. And so those are the 3 elements. And they should be pre-wired, and then they should be able to be painted as separate units and then put together. I'm still working on a couple of things that I'm not clear on. So I've got some help from the great guru himself. Lou Del Meso is sort of my mentor, and so I'm going to be asking him a bunch of questions along the way, and he's kindly agreed to sort of to help me whenever I need help. So and believe me, it's not just I need all kinds of help. But so because, you know, masking all of the lights, now, you know, you can do it. There's all kinds of, you know, there's micro mask, there's all kinds of masking liquids and gels just to put a little drop on these lights. And that's probably what you do. Because, yes, you can prime these parts and, you know, you can do all your light blocking, and then you can put your lighting kit in it. And then you've got to get your windows in there and seal them up. We've got window masks. We've got masking kit from the great Aztek Dummy. We didn't just get one kit, we have 3. A, to stimulate the economy, and B, because I know, from constant use, I want to make sure that I've got fresh masks to go if I goof, and I'm notorious for goofing. So I feel like I've got a little bit of a safety net, and that's okay. Safety nets are a good thing. So I think I've covered everything. Nervous about the nacelles. There's an awful lot of wiring to get in there. Nervous about the secondary hole. There's an awful lot of wiring that has to be shoved up right up against the deflector dish and that housing in front. Awful lot that has to happen to get this to go together. Not to mention some of the seam issues that I know we're going to be dealing with because they plague this kit. So I'm going to desperately be trying to get the best fit I can so that we obviously use as little putty as possible. We are going to be using some aftermarket decals. Also some decals that the decal sheet that comes with the kit I'm a little nervous about. Polar Lights, bless their hearts, sometimes their decals can disintegrate, but fear not, I have got plenty on hand in case we have a disaster, and I'm expecting a few along the way. So, welcome aboard. I'm very excited to have you along. I'm excited to get going. Finally, I'm going to get going. And the first thing I'm going to do is clean up that saucer, get it prepped for primer, light block it, clean it up, and get it ready to receive all the lights because some of the holes have to be drilled out. And as you know, we've got to chew away some of the walls inside the saucer to get our lighting going. In case, just to refamiliarize yourself, we've got this wall, and it obviously doesn't allow any light to get to the windows. So this all has to be chewed out where we've got windows. And then, of course, where we've got our nav lights and running lights, we've got to chew out a place for those as well. And so we make sure that everything is fitting hunky-dory. But I'm going to take a quick look at my other kit just to see if the saucer is a little nicer than this. The reason why I say that is because, let me show you, I'm looking at this, and right away I'm seeing almost like melted plastic. It's like just a burn hole, and I think that is supposed to look like that, right? It doesn't look like that. It looks like that, and it's definitely melted. Now, it isn't anything that can't be solved with a little putty and some cleaning up. I'm very well aware of that, but I just want to be sure that I'm coming out of the gate with my best foot forward here. Okay, so let us continue. I've been rattling on for about 28 minutes here. I'm going to try to keep these to an hour and a half. So when I come back, we will be cleaned up. We will be light. We'll start to light block, and we'll look at what we've got, and perhaps we'll even install some lighting on camera. So that we can see how this plug-and-play kit from Trek Modeler drops into the model. That'll be cool. And I will sort of take you through what I'm doing, but I want to be cautious that I'm not turning this into a how-to. I don't want to confuse any of you because I'm learning as I build this. So we can certainly learn together, and that's fine. But I don't want to send anybody down the wrong rabbit hole. So any of my guesswork or attempts to do something that are wrong, I caution you I caution you in advance that I'm as green as everybody else. So here we go. This is part one, and we'll continue here. So let's move on with the saucer. Okay, lots going on. So I wanted to sort of give you the latest of where we are since the last segment. We are approximately at this point about, in all told, we're about 9 hours of total build, 9 hours. So somebody should be keeping track. So I'll try, but it's interesting, right? We'll see. It's not a race. It's just, you know, trying to understand just exactly what it takes to build something like this. And this is quite a complicated build. Workflow is key. There's a lot going on. So let me dive in and share with you what is going on. First of all, I've been light blocking. So my lower saucer is drying. I've got 2 coats of black primer paint on there. First coat was a dusting. Then I stuck a flashlight under it just to see where my problem spots were going to be. Second coat, a lot heavier, a lot thicker, so it's taking quite a while to dry, but it should be pretty good. And then when that dries, obviously it's going to get 2 coats of the white primer, so that light diffusion is a lot friendlier to the kit. One of the things I forgot to do, and I've got to remember, is to mask off my locator pins, because now I'm going to have to go through and clean up all of my locator pins. Otherwise, I'm going to be in a world of hurt. These models do not like any paint on the locator pins. It really messes with fit, and that you don't want. So light blocking is underway. The upper saucer is underway. Here it is. And what I have done is I've put in 1 piece of window. Now I'm going to obviously put all my windows in, but I wanted to sort of test which glue option I was going to go with. Now I have gone with the contactor, the Revell contactor. You know, it's just like your traditional glues, right? But what it has done, it is created, let me see if I can get this in focus. No. There we go. It's created a really lovely seam here, almost seamless. And what I love about it is, as it was drying, I was able to take just a thumbnail and scrape off anything that oozed out just a little bit. So it filled it, and it sat down flush. So I'm going to be putting the windows in with the contactor. The other thing I have done is I have made this hole for the crystal larger. The reason why I did that is because, as I showed you earlier, I have an aftermarket crystal. Here it is. And that will pop in to the model. It just drops in like that. I'm not going to push it in hard because I don't want to at this point, but you can see that is absolutely beautiful. And what's even more glorious about this is it comes with a diffused lens. Here it is, and that pops in under that after you're all painted, and you're ready to go. Crisp, clear, and it does not have to be masked. How awesome is that? Now, I am using the Aztek Dummy Refit masking kit. It does come with masks for the original piece from the kit. So if you want to use that, and you've got masks to do a great job on it. But I'm trying to just try a few things. I think that will make that nice and clean. So I'm not too worried about someone looking at it from 3 inches and making sure that it's perfect. Now, I'm trying my best. So the other thing I've done is I located where all I needed light for my windows, and so we've started to chew those out, as you can see here. If I get my fat fingers out of the way and do this, that's better. So I've chewed out, making sure that my stands for my window connects are in good shape, that we don't lose those, because you'll be in a world of hurt if you do. I've marked out where everything goes, and I've also put in my photo etch of the officer's lounge, and that has a little putty on it, and that's all got to be sanded up and cleaned, but that'll be good. As you know, in the previous segment, I had a problem with this window, so I swapped out my upper dish. I've got 3 of these kits because if I make a mistake or lose something, I wanted to make sure that I could keep going, because that's, you know, that's how I roll. So anyway, so that's all good to go. And now, as I flip this over, the next issue that we had to deal with was the yellow thruster lights. Now, I'm going to be able to drop in my nav lights. I've got, because this kit comes with, well, fighting for focus, sorry about that. This kit comes with an upper and a lower, so I don't have to worry about that. But it doesn't come with an upper and lower for the thrusters, okay? Now the thrusters themselves have, just to remind those of you who are playing along or building along, it has a port, or I'll call it a port, within this sort of triangular shape, and that will be painted yellow. And then on the sides, the 2 sources connect together, and you get these 4 window ports. Now, one of the things that I was concerned about was that in the bundle you get a single LED. It's nice and bright. It's nice and bright. But I don't know if it's bright enough, even if I put a little sort of solar res in there, you know, and instantly cure it and create lenses, that it's going to be bright enough, punchy enough. I don't know. So after consulting with my mentor and guru, the great Lou Dalmaso over at Aztek Dummy, he recommended that I go with fiber optics for those. And that's what I've done. I'm taking these units and I'm connecting them to a bundle of fiber optics, and I'm doing that with glue and then a nice amount of glue, and then a shrink tube, electrical shrink tube over that, and look at the result. Look how punchy that is. That's extraordinary, right? I just couldn't be happier with that. That is a great result. So that's what we're going to be doing. And then obviously I'll lightly soften these so that I can drop these into position, and then I'll mushroom them out. I'll trim them, mushroom them once we're all painted, and we will be good to go. So that is a result, and that should really make a difference, really make a difference. So I couldn't be happier with that. Because, so forgive me, I wanted to show you this because this is fun. So look, the Trek Modeler bundle, right? This is the upper saucer unit, and it comes with a harness and these 2 locator grooves, and they cleverly sit. They allow you to sit that down like this and glue that down, and it puts this entire system in the correct position. And so you can then start running out your lights to it, and that is a thing of beauty. So that's how that works. And then if I flip it over, oh, I lost it. I'm trying to do too much. I apologize, but let me do this because I want to show you this. If I flip this over and get my thruster in there, there we go. And then I flip it over, you can see I've got a beautiful point of light, and that is perfect. And so I don't have to mess with drilling those holes out, and I don't have to worry that I'm not going to get enough light. I'm going to have plenty of light. So this is basically ready to go now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue on getting my harness ready by putting those fiber optic bundles together, and that'll be good to go. And then I should be able to, once I get all the windows in, do a thorough light blocking on the inside of that, and then I should be able to install the harness, and that should take care of the upper saucer in terms of the lighting. Then it has to be sealed up, and it has to look great. Now, there are some other elements that are going on. We've got the light for our crystal, and let me show you, and that will change to blue. In fact, I can get it to change to blue for you. I think we go from impulse to warp. So let me get that to do that for you, and you'll watch it change. It's very nifty. Just give it a second here, and it should change over. Maybe I have to hold that down. There we go. Yeah, it takes two to tango. So your warp speed crystal changes to blue, your crystal changes to blue, and your impulse engine lights go out. And then to get that back to impulse power, you just, I think you hit it again, and we'll watch that change. Come on. I got to get used to this remote, obviously. Oh, you don't want to play ball, huh? There we go. I think you have to know how many of these to push. Of course, if I was wise enough to read the instructions, I would. Right? But anyway, and speaking of which, look at this nifty remote that comes with it. Isn't this fantastic? And there's a soundboard on this thing of beauty as well. So you've got power up, power on, start up, impulse warp, and then you've got torpedoes and phasers and red alert, and it also has built-in sound cards that allow you to have it all connected up and doing its thing. So that's very exciting. And then the only other thing I wanted to share with you is this base. This is the Nebula One base that we're using. Look at this. Yeah, that's one solid piece of resin. Now you can see there is a hole right here if you're going to use switches. Well, we're not. We're using the remote. So fear not, because this thing of beauty comes with some amazing stuff. For instance, now this has a protective cover on it. This is the actual correct size. That lays down like this on the top. And then you have got, I've got to, I don't know where they are right now. They're around here somewhere. But anyway, you've got cutouts for here, a cover for here, and a cutout for here, and this will all be solid. This will be beautiful. The one challenge I do have is that the hole for my post is not big enough. So I have to drill a much larger hole, and that is giving me a little bit of concern. The reason why it's giving me a little bit of concern is because it's a large drill bit. So here it is. It's a 9/32 drill bit. Now I do have a drill press, so I will put it on the drill press, and we will try to do this. And what I'll do is obviously I'll put some masking tape around here so I know exactly what my depth should be. But I am concerned. This is for cutting through steel, so it should be fine. And I don't have that far to go. But if I screw that up, I'm in a world of hurt. So I'm going to try it and not do that. Okay, so that is the update number 1 of I don't know how many. We are in October now. And for sure November and going into December. I do have some travel coming up, so trying to get an update out every week could be tough, and if that doesn't happen, I apologize. Just know, all of you wonderful people, that I have not forgotten. I've not disappeared. I just have personal stuff that I have to deal with, and we're going into the holidays. But we will persevere, and we're going to get this done. And I hope some of you are building along with me. I hope some of you are motivated to pull this out of your stash. Take your time. It's a behemoth. It's a behemoth. But I'm really excited to have this finally as part of my collection. So if you are new to the channel, please like and subscribe. Welcome. It means an awful lot to me. You can also follow me on Instagram. I post in the weeds details of what I'm doing there pretty much every day if I can. Or drop me a line, spruverse@gmail.com. Love to hear from you. Or you can also contact me via Instagram or just leave a comment. Happy to hear from all of you, and I appreciate and I'm very grateful to each and every one of you for all of your support and your great comments and enthusiasm. It makes it really awesome, because I do this for no other reason, but I just love it. I'm just really passionate about this hobby. And I hope I can get that infection over to some of you who may be thinking about diving in or coming back and haven't quite thought you could because you don't have the time or what have you. Make the time. Even if it's half an hour out of your day, I don't care. You'll feel good about it. And I'll feel good that you're doing it. Okay, so that's it for now. We will leave it there. I think that's plenty to chew on, and we'll continue to pound out the updates, okay? So as always, I wish all of you, please, be well, be safe, build something. Come on, guys, build something, and I'll see you next time. Take care, everybody.